Welcome back to our channel, fellow drama analysts. Today is a beautiful day to dissect the unspoken tensions and hidden agendas simmering right beneath the surface of our favorite daytime canvas. Let's not waste a single second and jump straight into the madness. Okay, no, this cannot be a coincidence anymore. Let's talk about that deeply unsettling scene in the law office. Bill is sitting there, the lighting is weirdly dim, almost like a confession booth. He's reminiscing about the past, and he just murmurs her name, Donnie, just like that. Soft, affectionate, dripping with this bizarre nostalgic poison. Wait, why did the camera focus on the empty space around him right after? Was it to emphasize his isolation? It doesn't matter. What matters is the sheer weight of the moment. He thinks he's alone. This isn't just a guy missing his ex. This is full-blown identity collapse. Who is Bill when nobody is watching? He's a man desperately clinging to a ghost. It's like he can't physically exist in the present timeline without tethering himself to the memory of Donnie. I mean, think about it. The emotional tension here is suffocating. He's sitting in a room built on logic, law, and order, and his brain is just melting into this puddle of unresolved romantic grief. Or is it grief? Maybe it's guilt. Buried trauma has a funny way of leaking out when the room goes quiet. He's whispering her name like an incantation. I think episode 12,845 hinted at this when he was staring out the window for way too long during that meeting. We all thought he was thinking about the lawsuit, but no, he was thinking about her. He's always thinking about her. It's exhausting just watching him pretend he's fine. And then, boom, the door opens, Naomi walks in, and what does she say? Wrong Dupree woman, God, that line. It's so sharp. It's not just a witty entrance. It's a surgical strike. Generational resentment wrapped up in a casual greeting. Naomi knows, she's always known. You can see the exhaustion in her eyes. She is so tired of managing her father's emotional baggage. When she said that, I literally paused the screen. I had to look at Bill's face. That smile looked fake, like painfully fake. The kind of smile you wear when you've just been caught burying a body. Only the body is his lingering obsession with her mother. Bill tries to deflect. Of course he does. Nobody in this show says what they actually mean. He tries to brush it off, change the subject, maybe shuffle some papers to look busy. But Naomi isn't letting it go this time. She points out that this isn't the first time he's slipped up. He's called Donnie Babe recently. Babe, are you kidding me? You don't just accidentally call your ex babe unless that word is sitting right on the tip of your tongue 24 hours a day. It's a Freudian slip of massive proportions. Or is it? What if it's not an accident? What if it's manipulation through affection? What if he's doing it on purpose to keep his hook in Donnie, to make sure she never really feels free of him? Hold on, I need to go back. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's look at Naomi's actual accusation. She doesn't just tease him, she corners him. She asks the million-dollar question. Is it that he just can't let go of her mother? Or is it pure, unadulterated selfishness? Does he just want to ruin Donnie's happiness? This is where the scene goes from a family squabble to hidden warfare. Naomi is interrogating him like a hostile witness. She's using emotional blackmail, threatening to expose his pathetic lingering attachments if he doesn't come clean. She sees right through his facade of the moving on ex-husband. She sees the revenge disguised as forgiveness. Think about Bill's psychology here. If Donnie is happy, Bill's narrative of being the center of her universe crumbles. His ego can't handle it. So he drops these little emotional breadcrumbs of babe here. A wistful look there just to destabilize her. And Naomi sees it. She sees her father trying to sabotage her mother's peace of mind. The fear of exposure on Bill's face when Naomi lays this out is palpable. He realizes his daughter isn't just a colleague in this law firm. She's a threat to his carefully constructed lies. How is Naomi supposed to just go back to drafting legal documents after realizing her dad is an emotional terrorist. No, wait, that earlier scene changes this. The one with Mike, I completely forgot why this mattered. They aren't just sitting around chatting about family drama. They are supposed to be working on Madison's case. This is a massive, high-stakes lawsuit. And right in the middle of this intense psychological breakdown, Mike shows up. Or rather, Mike has just dumped a literal mountain of paperwork on them, exactly as he promised. Mike is playing his own game. Are we really supposed to believe Mike is just being helpful? In this town, please. Every piece of paper Mike hands over is probably laced with legal cyanide. Let's analyze this paperwork drop. Mike delivers the goods, and Bill immediately tells Naomi to prep the complaint. He delegates the hard, tedious work to his daughter right after she emotionally eviscerates him. It's a classic power play. He's reasserting his dominance as the boss to neutralize her power as the daughter who knows his secrets. He treats the conversation like a manipulation tactic. Oh, you think you've figured out my deep, dark obsession with your mother? That's cute. Go file this motion. It's so dismissive. It's deeply toxic. He is using the law firm's hierarchy to shut down her emotional inquiry. And then, the absolute kicker, Bill announces he has to leave. Where is he going? To play golf with the judge. The judge who is presiding over Madison's case. I am screaming. My brain is literally short-circuiting. Who does this? You are in the middle of a massive emotional crisis. Your daughter just accused you of trying to ruin your ex's life. You have a mountain of unread evidence from Mike. And your response is to go hit some golf balls with the judge. This is the most blatant display of overconfidence I have ever seen. Or is it panic? Let's look deeper. The golf trip is an escape hatch. He's terrified. The fear of exposure is driving him out of that office. He can't stay in that room with Naomi for one more second because if he does, he might actually break down and admit she's right. He might admit that he is completely lost without Donnie. So he runs to the most sterile, emotionally void environment possible, a golf course with a judge. It's brilliant, really, in a twisted, cowardly way. He uses networking and schmoozing the judge as a legitimate business excuse to flee an emotional reckoning. But wait, let's spiral on this judge thing for a second. Is the judge actually playing him? We know Madison's case is a minefield. What if the judge invited Bill to the golf course not to schmooze, but to gauge his stability? What if Mike tipped the judge off? Okay, maybe that's a conspiracy theory too far, but you have to admit the timing is suspicious. Bill is distracted. His head is full of Donnie. He's murdering her name to empty rooms. If I were a judge, I wouldn't trust this guy to argue a parking ticket right now, let alone Madison's massive case. Bill's overconfidence is going to tank this entire lawsuit. And where does this leave Naomi? She is completely isolated. She has to sit there, staring at Mike's towering stack of evidence, knowing her father is mentally checked out. She has to stand on the side of justice for Madison, but she's bogged down by the messy, unresolved generational trauma of her parents' relationship. Will she confront him again? Will she push this to the bitter end, or will she stay silent to protect the family? If she files that complaint while Bill is off playing golf and daydreaming about Donnie, any mistake is going to fall on her shoulders. She is being set up as the fall guy, both emotionally and professionally. These memories of Donnie aren't just sweet little flashbacks. They are a virus. They are infecting Bill's mind, making him reckless. He thinks he can juggle his unresolved romantic obsession and a high-stakes legal battle at the same time. He thinks he can charm the judge on the back nine while his daughter cleans up his messes. It's infuriating. The emotional exhaustion I feel just watching him dodge accountability is immense. He's burying his head in the sand, and the sand is a golf bunker. Let's pivot for a second and think about Donnie's invisible presence in this room. She isn't even on screen, yet her ghost is suffocating the entire law office. Why is Bill so desperate to ruin her happiness? What is it about Donnie finding peace that triggers this toxic reflex in him? It's a classic case of narcissistic injury. If Donnie can thrive without him, it means he wasn't the oxygen she needed to breathe, and Bill's ego cannot process that. So he creates these scenarios, these little slips of the tongue, to subconsciously reinsert himself into her narrative. He wants Naomi to go back and tell Donnie, hey, Dad is still pining for you. He's using his own daughter as a carrier pigeon for his emotional manipulation. It's sick. It really is. And let's not let Mike off the hook here. Hold on. I need to go back to that stack of papers. Mike promised to deliver, and he did. But Mike is a shark. He swims in the murky waters of the legal system with a permanent smirk. Why is he being so cooperative? I suspect there's a trap hidden in page 400 of that discovery file. A bombshell that will blow Madison's case wide open, but in the wrong direction. And because Bill is completely distracted by his own identity collapse, he isn't going to read it. He's going to trust Naomi to do it, but Naomi is too emotionally compromised by her father's gaslighting to catch the legal landmine. Mike knows exactly what he's doing. He timed this document dump perfectly. Let's talk about the golf course again. The more I think about it, the more insane it is. Golf is a game of precision, focus, and absolute control. It is the exact opposite of Bill's current mental state. He is erratic, messy, and totally out of control. By going to the golf course, he is trying to physically act out the control he has lost in his personal life. He wants to stand on that green, perfectly align his shot, and pretend that his life isn't a chaotic mess of unresolved feelings and professional negligence. But you can't output your own demons. The judge is going to see right through him. The judge is going to look at Bill, see the sweat on his brow, notice the way he keeps checking his phone, and realize that this man is not fit to represent Madison. This all comes down to Naomi. She is the fulcrum of this entire disaster. She is standing at a crossroads of generational resentment and professional duty. Does she cover for him? Does she stay late, brew a pot of terrible office coffee, and comb through Mike's documents while her dad is out pretending to be a master of the universe? Or does she finally snap? What if she deliberately sabotages the complaint? No, wait, she wouldn't do that. Naomi is too principled. But the temptation has to be there. The temptation to let him fall, to let him face the consequences of his own emotional blackmail. She knows that if she saves him this time, he will just keep doing it. He will keep calling Donnie babe. He will keep leaving her with the heavy lifting, and he will never change. I am so emotionally exhausted by these people. Every conversation is a chess match where the pieces are made of unresolved trauma. Bill's quiet little Donnie murmur wasn't just a nostalgic sigh. It was the sound of a bomb arming itself. It was the catalyst for this entire spiral. And as we wait for the next episode, I am just terrified for Madison. Her quest for justice is entirely dependent on a man who doesn't even know what year it is emotionally, and a daughter who is one snarky comment away from walking out the door forever. We are watching a tragedy unfold, beautifully disguised as a mundane day at a law firm. I can't take it. I just can't.